Morning, students. Today we are going to read from page number 36 because we read 4 pages in the last class, and today we are going to start from page number 36, first paragraph. And we have read till now that the rat trap seller, he was going from one place to another. He was never given shelter by anybody. Everybody was giving him sour faces, and he was never welcomed anywhere. But coincidentally, or maybe unexpectedly, he was given shelter by the crofter, and he stayed for the night with him. But the crofter was, you can say, was ditched and cheated by this man, and somehow he got those 30 kroners which were saved by the crofter, and he went with these 30 kroners to the woods. But when he went into the woods, he was totally confused. He was not able to get a way out, and he, you can say, got lost. And then he somehow came to know that there were some noises which were coming from direction, and then he reached a mill, an iron mill, and he was given shelter for the night by the blacksmith. Now I am going to read from page number 36, first paragraph. He asked permission to stay, and the master blacksmith nodded a haughty consent without honoring him a single word. Now, this is very important, that nobody, means the master blacksmith, was not giving him any kind of attention, and he gave him a, there is a word nodded. Nodded means with the movement of the head, a permission was given, hinted by the blacksmith, and it was a haughty consent. Haughty means he very proudly he gave permission or agreement without honoring him with a single word. He did not say anything. Silently he moved his head, and this movement showed that he was given shelter for the night. He was given the permission to stay for the night. The tramp did not say anything either. Tramp here means sometimes this man, this rat trap seller, he would be called as peddler, he would also be called as vagabond, he would also be called as tramp, or stranger sometimes, or maybe intruder sometimes. So he was the tramp, and he did not say anything either. He had not come there to talk, but only to warm himself and sleep. He had only one intention. Why he had come? Because he wanted to sleep for the night. That's it. In those days, Ramsjo Iron Mill was owned by a very prominent iron master. Prominent here means a very important iron master, whose greatest ambition was to ship out good iron to the market. Now, he had gone to an iron mill, and the iron mill was owned by a very prominent iron master those days. And this iron master had a dream that he wanted to manufacture the best iron in the world, and he wanted to export it to different parts of the world. He watched both night and day to see that the work was done as well as possible, and at this very moment he came into the forge on one of his nightly rounds of inspection. Then what actually happened? This iron master, the owner of the iron mill, he was very sincere and dedicated to his work. What he had done, he generally had come to, you can say, have nightly inspection also. He would come for nocturnal visits, just to see whether the people, they were working hard or not. Was the work going on properly or not? Next paragraph. Naturally, the first thing he saw was the tall ragamuffin. Ragamuffin here means a person who is, you can say, dressed very badly, in a very dirty manner, or in rags. Rags means in torn and worn clothes. Naturally, the first thing he saw, means when this iron master, when he went for a nightly visit to his own mill, just as an inspection, when he entered his mill, he found that ragamuffin was sleeping, or he was actually, you can say, in front of his eyes, who had eased his way so close to the furnace that steam rose from his wet rags. And because that ragamuffin, that iron master, he was totally wet because of the rain, now he was sleeping he was, you can say, warming himself just near the furnace, and because of that some vapor was to be seen, some steam was rising from his rags, from his clothes. The iron master did not follow the example of the blacksmiths. What is the meaning of this line? Iron master did not follow the example of the blacksmith. Here means that iron master was not so rude. He was not avoiding his presence, and he wanted to look after this man. He wanted to speak to him, who had hardly deigned to look at the stranger. Means till now that blacksmith, he never gave any attention. He deigned here means he never bothered. He was not worried to look at the stranger. The stranger was avoided by the blacksmith, but iron master was a very, you can say, kind man. He walked close up to him, looked him over very carefully, then tore off his slouch hat to get a better view of his face. Slouch here means a bend hat, because the man was having, you can say, his face covered with the hat. So the iron master went near him. He took off his slouch hat and wanted to take a better view of his face. He wanted to look at his face. But of course it is you, Niels Olof, he said. How you do look? What is the meaning? When he actually had taken that slouch hat away from his face, the iron master found that it was nobody else but Niels Olof. And he said how he was looking like. The man with the rat traps had never seen him before. Means the iron master thought that this man was Niels Olof, but the rat trap seller, he had never seen this face before. He did not know anything about the iron master at Ramsjo, and did not even know what his name was. But it occurred to him that if the fine gentleman thought he was an old acquaintance, he might perhaps throw him a couple of kroner. Therefore, he did not want to undeceive him all at once. This word is very important. There is a question that why the rat trap seller, even though he knew that he did not know anything about iron master, he was not, you can say, known to him, but still he did not undeceive here means he did not clear all this situation to the iron master has actually mistaken him. Because of the darkness inside the furnace, he was not able to look at his face clearly, and that is why he thought that he was Niels Olof. But this man, this rat trap seller, he never wanted to clear the situation to him. Why? Because he might perhaps throw him a couple of kroner. This was the reason why this was, you can say, not cleared by the rat trap seller, because he thought that he could get some money. He could get a couple of kroner. Kroner is the currency that is used in Sweden. So he thought that he could get some money. So he kept himself quiet. He did not clear the situation that he was not Niels Olof. Yes, God knows things have gone downhill with me. And this was said by the rat trap seller. It means that rat trap seller actually lied, or he said he was pretending that really the things were gone downhill and he had been very unfortunate. You should not have resigned from the regiment, said the iron master. Iron master actually thought that he was in the regiment, means this man, that rat trap seller, was one of his regimental comrades. He thought that he was in the army, and he asked him that why the rat trap seller resigned from the army. That was the mistake. If only I had still been in the service. That was the mistake. If only I had still been in the service at that time, it never would have happened. Well, now of course you will come home with me. Means he said that if he would have not been, you can say, away from the army at that time, he would never have allowed this man to resign. But now he wanted him to come with him, to go along up to the manor house and be received by the owner like an old regimental comrade. That, however, did not please the tramp. What is the meaning? Even though the tramp here means the rat trap seller, the peddler, he was being invited by the owner of the you can say the iron master, even after getting an invitation from him, he was not happy. He was not ready to go to the manor house. Manor house here means the landlord's house. Landlord here is the iron master. He was not ready. The peddler did not want to go with the iron master. Why? Because he had some doubts, and that is why he refused to go with him. No, I couldn't think of it. This is page number 37. No, I could not think of it, he said, looking quite alarmed. Quite alarmed, why? Because he was quite unhappy, or maybe he was surprised and shocked also, and he was, you can say, worried. And why he was worried? Because he thought to go with those 30 kroners to that house would be, you can say, going into a dangerous situation. It was quite risky to go anywhere with those 30 kroners. He thought of the 30 kroner. Now this is a question that could be asked by the CBSE, that why the peddler refused the invitation of the iron master, and the answer would be that he was quite alarmed. He was, you can say, very worried, because he had got those 30 kroners, and if he would go with those 30 kroners to somebody's house, he would be in danger. He thought of the 30 kroner to go up to the manor house. To go up to manor means to his house, to the landlord's house, would be like throwing himself voluntarily into the lion's den. It would be, you can say, throwing himself into the lion's den. Lion's den means it would be going, he would be throwing himself into the dangerous situation, and he did not want to take any risk. He only wanted a chance to sleep here in the forge and then sneak away as conspicuously as possible. His main motive was to get a chance for the shelter. He had come to take shelter for the night, and the next morning he wanted to go away. Sneak away means he wanted to go away without being noticed. चुपचाप वो वहां से भाग जाना चाहता है. And he did not want to go to anybody's house. उसकी intention ही नहीं है कहीं और जाने की. The iron master assumed that he felt embarrassed because of his miserable clothing, but iron master thought that why he was refused, why he you can say he had refused the invitation, maybe he would be feeling embarrassed. Why? Because of his miserable clothing, because he was in a very bad condition. Please don't think that I have such a fine home that you cannot show yourself there, he said. Elizabeth is dead, and as you may already have heard, my boys are abroad, and there is no one at home except my oldest daughter and myself. We were just saying that it was too bad we did not have any company for Christmas. Now come along with me and help us make the Christmas food disappear a little faster. Now this man was very kind and helping, and that is why he was telling the clear situation to the rat trap seller. He told him that he had no wife now. His wife Elizabeth was no more, she was already dead, and he and his daughter, they were the only residents of the house, and there was nobody else. And his house was not such a fine home, or it was not a palace that could not be entered by the rat trap seller. Means he could come even though he was badly dressed and badly clothed, but he could come. And he had sons also, but his boys were abroad. They had gone to study or for some other work. They had gone away from home, and it means that he could come, means the rat trap seller could come to their house and he could enjoy Christmas Eve. Why this man was being invited? Because the iron master wanted him to enjoy Christmas with them, and that is why he was being invited. But the stranger said no, and no, and again no, and the iron master saw that he must give in. What is the meaning of give in here? Give in means he surrendered. Means iron master asked him to come with him, but again and again, now he has been called as stranger. Stranger means, first of all, he was called as peddler, then rat trap seller, then stranger, ragamuffin, tramp. So all these names are being used by the writer to call this man the rat trap seller, to hint at his character sometimes. But the stranger said no. But the rat trap seller, he was again and again insisting that he was not ready to go anywhere. He just wanted shelter for the night. He wanted to sleep, and the next morning he wanted to go. That's it. And the Iron Master saw. But Iron Master saw that maybe he should surrender himself now. He was not trying to invite him again. It looks as though Captain Von Stale preferred to stay with you tonight's Turnstorm, and he said to the Master Blacksmith, and turned on his kneel. So at last, the Iron Master wanted to go out of the mill, and before going out, he turned to his Master Blacksmith, and he asked him to take care of this man, to take care of this Captain Von Stale. But he laughed to himself as he went away, and the blacksmith, who knew him, understood very well that he had not said his last word. What is the meaning of this line? That he had not said his last word. Blacksmith noticed that his owner, or maybe his master, was going out, but he knew that he had not, you can say, said everything. Means because his you can say master was laughing when he was going out, maybe there was something in his mind. He had a plan. It was not more than half an hour before they heard the sound of carriage wheels outside the forge, and a new guest came in. But this time it was not the Iron Master. He had sent his daughter, apparently hoping that she would have better powers of persuasion than he himself. Now what happened? After half an hour or so, there was somebody else who had come to invite this man. And this time it was not Iron Master, it was his daughter. So Iron Master's daughter had come. Why? Because she had come to invite the peddler now. She wanted to invite this rat trap seller. And why she had been sent by the father? Because this is the reason that he thought that she had better power of persuasion than he himself have. Persuasion here means the convincing power. This is very important to understand, that Iron Master thought that his daughter had better persuasive and you can say convincing power than he himself had. That is why he had sent his daughter to invite the man. She entered, followed by a valet. This is very important, that valet is a servant. Valet is servant. She entered, and she was followed by a servant carrying on his arm a big fur coat. And the valet, the servant, was having a big fur coat with him. She was not at all pretty. Now this girl, Iron Master's daughter, was not pretty. She was not beautiful at all, but seemed very modest and quite shy. But she was a very, you can say, modest girl. She was very down to earth, very good behaved, and very you can say shy kind of girl she was. She entered followed by a valet, and she was not very pretty. She seemed modest and quite shy also. In the forge, everything was just as it had been earlier in the evening. The master blacksmith and his apprentice still sat on their bench, and iron and charcoal still glowed in the furnace. The stranger had stretched himself out on the floor. Means the stranger was, you can say, lying on the floor and lay with a piece of pig iron under his head, and pulled over his eyes again. Means when this daughter of the Iron Master entered the iron mill, she found that the man was still lying near the furnace, and he had that cap on his face. As soon as the young girl caught sight of him, she went up and lifted his hat. Means she went near the man, she took off his hat. The man was evidently used to sleeping with one eye open. What is the meaning of this line? With one eye open. It means that the man was very doubtful and very dubious. He still was not sleeping. He was very awake. He jumped up abruptly and seemed to be quite frightened. Means when his hat was taken away by the girl, he was shocked and surprised, and he got up. Abruptly means quickly he got on his feet and seemed to be quite frightened and alarmed also. He was very frightened when the girl took off his hat. My name is Edla Wilmanson, said the young girl. My father had come and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forge tonight, and then I asked permission here in the forge tonight, and then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. I am so sorry, Captain, that you are having such a hard time. Now, this is very important, that this girl had come and she started talking to this man, to rat trap seller, and she gave her introduction. She told that her name was Edla Wilmanson, and her father told her that there was an old acquaintance he had got in the mill, and that is why she wanted to come and she wanted to invite him herself. And she was showing her, you can say, humanity and compassion, because she came to know that he was going through a very bad patch of his life. He was in the army, but now he was, you can say, roaming as a tramp everywhere. She looked at him compassionately with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. Either he had stolen something, or else he had escaped from jail, she thought, and added quickly. Now this is very important, because this girl was having, you can say, better persuasive power, and she had better observation than her father. Her father was not able to understand that the man, who was that man, and was he, you can say, unhappy, or was he afraid or not. But this girl, in her first visit, she noticed that the man was really, you can say, fearful, and he would have done something wrong. So she said either he had stolen something, means she noticed that maybe something, you can say, wrong was done by this man, and or maybe he would be escaping from jail. या तो जेल से भागा हुआ है, या फिर इसने कुछ चोरी की है, because he was afraid, she thought, and added quickly, you may be sure, Captain. Still, they were calling him Captain, because they thought that he was in army and he was a captain. He was old regimental comrade of the Iron Master. That you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came, means she said that they are not going to pressurize him at all. He was having the liberty, he had the freedom to go anytime whenever he wanted. Only please stay with us on the Christmas Eve. She actually wanted that the man should come and enjoy the Christmas Eve with them. That's it. And after that, he was allowed to go anywhere. She said this in such a friendly manner that the rat trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. This is very important, and this is the answer of a question. And the question is why he accepted the invitation given by Edla Wilmanson and refused the invitation given by her father. So the answer is that this girl is, you can say, speaking in such a friendly way, in such a friendliness, that the rat trap peddler felt confidence in her, and he was not able to refuse the invitation of the Iron Master's daughter. It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss, he said. I will come at once. Means he said that he was really, you can say, feeling embarrassed that such a girl, or maybe such a young girl, had come, and she was asking him to come, and he could not refuse because of her friendly way and the regard and respect that was shown to him. He accepted the fur coat, which the valet handed him with a deep bow. Means he took the coat, he wear it over his, you can say, rags on his shoulders, and threw it over his rags, and followed the young lady out to the carriage without granting the astonished blacksmith so much a glance. Now this time it was his way of neglecting blacksmith, because when he had entered the forge, entered the mill, he was given a haughty consent by the blacksmith, but now this was his turn. He was going out with the with the lady, and he was going into the carriage. So when he was going out of the mill, he was not giving even any attention to the blacksmith, and he ignored them. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. This is very important line now. Now, what actually happened, that when he was going in the carriage, जब वो उसकी गाड़ी में जा रहा है, in the carriage of Edla Wilmanson to the manor house. Manor means to the landlord's house. He had evil forebodings. What is the meaning of evil forebodings? Evil means bad, and forebodings means you can say some hints about future. So he had those evil forebodings, means he anticipated evil. He thought that something is wrong going to happen in the future. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? Now he cursed himself. वो अपने को कोस रहा है that why he took that fellow's 30 kroners. Because of those 30 kroners, he was in a very bad situation now, because he was fearful that he could be caught by the police. Now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. Now he again got that idea that this world was a rat trap, and he as a rat got attracted towards those 30 kroners, and because of those 30 kroners he was in the trap today, and he was caught. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the ironmaster came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought that with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. Next morning it was Christmas, and the ironmaster wanted to enjoy breakfast with his regimental comrade, thought to be regimental comrade. And first of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones. These were the instructions given by the ironmaster to the doctor. He was speaking to Edla, and he was telling him that first of all, this was their responsibility, that his regimental comrade, his, you can say, friend, should be given good food. So he should get some flesh on his bones. So he should get some energy. Who was busy at the table. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the selling, you can say, country selling rat traps. Now this shows that how, you can say, kind, how selfless this man was, because the ironmaster was so helping that he wanted to start a business kind of thing. He wanted to do something for his friend. Not only he wanted to give him food, but he was planning to start a business for him, and he did not want that his regimental comrade should sell rat traps. It is queer that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Daughter said that it was queer. Queer here means it was strange. It was really odd that this man had a very bad time and he was going through such misfortune. कितना बदकिस्मत आदमी रहा है ये. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. And this is again very important, that this girl Edla, she noticed that this man, means tramp or the rat trap seller, he was not looking like an educated man. But father was not able to understand all such things. And he said, "You must have patience, my little girl," said the father. "As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Last night he was naturally embarrassed, and the tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes." But father again replied, he said that this was misjudged by the girl, and he told the girl that the tramp or the regimental comrade, this rat trap seller, was pretty embarrassed, and he was badly dressed, he was not cleaned, he was very dirty, he had long beard, and that is why he looked like a tramp. But actually he was a regimental comrade, and when he would take bath and he would dressed in a good way, in a better way, then they would be able to see his good mannerism also. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, now he was truly clean. Means after taking bath, after getting well dressed, he came after to the breakfast table. The valet had bathed him. Valet means the servant had bathed him, means he was given, you can say, bath with the help of the valet, the servant. Cut his hair, and he had a haircut also, and he had given a, you can say, he had shaved himself also. Moreover, he was dressed in a good looking suit of clothes which belonged to the iron master. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. Whole shoes here means a new pair of shoes was given to him. He was wearing a white shirt, and a starched mean an ironed collar also was given by the iron master. So this time, this man, the rat trap seller, was well dressed, and he came to the breakfast table. But although his guest was now so well groomed means he was well dressed, the iron master did not seem pleased. But now iron master was not happy. Why he was not happy? Why he was not pleased? He looked at him with puckered brow. Puckered means with anger on his face. And it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. But that now, when he stood there in broad daylight, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. What actually happened now? That because of the broad daylight, he was not able to mistake him. Means a mistake was done by him, because he thought that he was his old regimental comrade, but it was not true, because when he was well dressed, and he was shaved, and he had a haircut also the next morning, he noticed that this man was not Niels Olof, and he was not his regimental comrade. What does that mean? He thundered. Now he wanted to ask a lot of questions from this man. He wanted to ask who was he, and what he had done, why he had come as his regimental comrade, because he was not that man. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. Means this stranger, this rat trap seller, he did not say anything. And he saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. Means he noticed that the glory or the good time of his life came to an end, and again he would be ill treated by the worldly people, because he knew that he never was given any kind of regard and respect by anybody in this world, and his splendor or his glory came to an end again. It is not my fault, sir, he said. And he cleared. He said it was not his fault. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader. Means I never said that I am anybody else. I always, you can say, told you that I was a peddler. I never said anything. And I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. I never had any other, you can say, intention. I always wanted to come and stay for the night in the forge. I had come to your mill just to stay for the night. But no harm has been done. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away. Means if you want me to go, I have not harmed you. I have not done anything against you. And if you want me to go, I would take my rags. Rags means my worn and torn and dirty clothes again, and I would go. I have no ill intention against you. Well said. Well, said the Iron Master, hesitating a little. But Iron Master wanted to say something. He said it was not quite honest either. You must admit that, and I should not be surprised if the sheriff here means the police would like to have something to say in that matter. Means you cannot go from here, and you were not honest, because you never told us that you are not my regimental comrade, and it means that you would be handed over to the police, and then police is going to ask a lot of questions from you. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. But now the tramp was quite angry, and he got that idea of rat trap, or this world as a rat trap, again into his mind. And he said, now I am going to tell you, Mr. Iron Master, how things are, he said. This whole world is nothing but a big rat trap, and all good things are that are offered to you are nothing but cheese rings and bits of pork set out to drag a poor fellow into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Ironmaster, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will be caught in the trap. Now, this is very hilarious and very funny also. Why? Because this man, this rat trap seller, again went through that idea of rat traps. This world was a rat trap, and all the human beings, like rats, they get attracted to different, you can say, pieces of porks. Like a rat would be getting attracted to a piece of bread, we also get attracted to riches and happiness, or maybe to different luxuries in life. And he says, now this is very important, he was giving a warning to this man. He said, Mr. Ironmaster, if sheriff comes, if you would call the police and police would lock me up, then you, Ironmaster, must remember, tum yaad rakhna, that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork. Means you would also get attracted to some allurement or some attraction, and then you will be caught one day in the trap. Means everybody has to go through this bad phase in life. Everybody would get attracted to different attractions in the world, and one day or the other your turn would also come. So students, this is the end of the day for today, and we'll continue the chapter tomorrow from the same page, from the same paragraph. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye. Thank you very much.